Hello, everyone, and welcome to this April 2025 news episode of your favorite FinOps news podcast, I hope. What's New in Cloud FinOps with myself, Stephen Old, and my great friend
Franck Entrepois.
I've realised, Frank, when I listen to a lot of other podcasts, they spend a lot of time on the intro about how amazing their podcast is. And we literally go, hey, it's us again. Get ready for some news. But I think, hopefully people like
We've talked about it also. We speak to an audience that almost no one else really focus on, which is the hardcore FinOps people. We assume you know your FinOps stuff. We're going to interview people that know their FinOps thing, and we're really going to go deep dive. If you don't know us yet, guys, you have 4 years of backlog you can listen to.
Yeah. If you don't know us yet, and this is your first ever episode and it's a news episode, strap in. You're either going to love it or be bored in the first 3 minutes.
And by the way, I had someone, I was asking, so I'm looking for a job at the moment. And one of the things I was saying, hey, what should I write on my CV on LinkedIn? And someone wrote me saying, if you don't know me, stop reading now. If you know me, hire me now. I was like, well, yeah, okay.
That's fine. 100% fair. And so if anyone is, we've never done this before, Frank, but if anyone is looking for like a data guard, automation and
FinOps expert.
Yeah, FinOps stuff. All of that kind of stuff. Get Frank now. I wish I had space to hire him, but he would hate to work for me. Just go, no, Steve, that's a stupid thing to say. And I'm like, shh, no one else knows it's stupid, Frank.
No, I would be anyway, I think we would work brilliantly together, but there will be moments where we might disagree on topics. I would be interesting too.
Well, me and Andy used to have that we used to work with. He was a great egg, wasn't he? Me and him used to have these discussions, and we both bitterly disagree on it, but like in a very polite way, because you can't be anything but polite with Andy. He was certainly polite, whether I was a different thing. We'd walk away and we'd come back together the next day and have entirely flipped our positions to agree with the other person. I was thinking what you were saying.
Yes.
Right. No, I think you're right now. It'd take us a few days to get back to a place where we could agree, but we'd always come back to something.
Yeah.
Conflict's an important part of the team, isn't it?
I think it is. But yeah, and for the listeners, so this is probably my first time trying to do the news, which are going to be Azure and
I think you've done it once before,
Google.
Haven't you? But
yeah,
you've got
possibly.
A lot this time.
But
last time you didn't have as much.
I have quite a few. I might say those things wrong. I was trying to look around the release notes, etc. There is tons of stuff, which is brilliant. But if I say a naming wrong or something like this, first of all, bear with me. Second, let me know on the comments on LinkedIn when I post it for this episode, because I'm always looking to improve. So, and here we go. So
great. Right. Who's doing the sounds this week?
You, because I don't have the sounds.
There we go. I'm ready for them anyway. Here we go.
Instances and compute. The first one is on Azure, and it is that VM hibernation is now generally available for GPU virtual machines. And so it's providing a cost-efficient way to pause workload while preserving memory state. This feature is supported on NVv4 and NV adds A10v5, whatever that is, VM series, and is available on both Linux and Windows operating system across all public regions. By leveraging hibernation, you can reduce compute costs by deallocating the VM and only pay for associated storage and networking resources. It is quite interesting that it is on GPUs, which means that they probably have a way to reuse those VMs in some form. Or they really don't consume the GPU.
I think that they are struggling with contention on GPUs. Like they have people constantly after them. But the thing is with pausing, surely you've got to be able to guarantee it will come back with the pause.
But that's the thing. You need to have a way to kick things out very, very fast. That might be where they put the spot. Or anyway, that exactly same thought I had too. So next one is still from Microsoft, and it is introducing, and now I'm going to struggle, introducing NV ads.
ADS, yeah.
ADS. I don't know. Some of them are capital letters. So do you read the capital letters one by one and the rest? Anyway, NV ADS V710 V5 series VM. So it's cost optimized AI inference, virtual workstation, and cloud gaming. So
exactly.
Yeah, today we're thrilled to expand our NV VM line. We expand our VM lineup for those with the very need of high performance GPU, more GPU memory, and faster CPU.
These are the low performance ones, aren't they? They're like cheaper.
I think they are because they are for cloud gaming. So customer running small to medium AI ML inferencing workload, virtual desktop infrastructure, virtualization, and cloud gaming workload need the VM adds V710, V5 series. It's powered by an AMD Radeon Pro 710 GPU with up to 28 gig of GPU memory, which easily serves popular small open source language model and handles the most demanding visualization scenario. On top of that, you have a high-frequency fourth-generation EPYC CPU, 3.9 gigahertz, and 4.3 gigahertz max frequency for compute-intensive workload that demand both CPU and GPU, i.e. games.
Yeah, graphics.
Yeah.
Or that kind of stuff, isn't it? Not massive, though. So 4 to 28 vCPU and 16 to 160 gigabytes. So they are not like the super ginormous ones we deal with. Like, I think they've really been aimed at this part, haven't they? Quite neatly.
I think they're trying to get you, if you are buying a gaming laptop, instead of buying a gaming laptop, could you just go onto the cloud and use that as a VDI environment and turning it off when you've stopped gaming? So unless you game, you're professional, you play 8 hours a day. If you're 1 or 2 hours a day, it might be more efficient. I don't know. But
maybe, yeah.
Or stream or stuff like that.
Oh, well, because I used to make online games, I always look at it from the hosting side. And if I had to do any local rendering for anything, it would be interesting. But yeah, anyway. What's next? Oh, it's me.
Yes.
Introducing Amazon EC2 i7i high performance storage optimized instances. So this is the storage optimized Intel 7th generation ones powered by the AWS Nitro SSDs. Offer up to 45 terabytes of NVMe storage with up to 50% better real-time storage performance, up to 50% lower storage I/O latency, and up to 60% lower I/O latency variability compared to the i4i instances. So this is one of those ones where they've jumped generations to try to get all the generations using the same chips to be the same number. They offer the best compute and storage performance for x86 storage optimized instances in Amazon EC2, delivering up to 23% better compute performance and more than 10% better price performance over the previous i4is, which does tell us, therefore, they are more expensive than the i4is, but more performant.
Yeah, and they also do not have RIs, I guess.
Well, do you know what? Let's let me have a go quickly looky see. What we call this? We're saying with up to 45% compared to i7 instances. Oh, sorry, there's i7IE instances.
Yes, that's
you
the last
reduce,
one.
Yeah. But I was just talking about the I's, wasn't I? Yes, these are the IEs as well. Maybe have I got that coming?
Yes, you have.
Oh, I have got that coming later. Well, that's for bare metal though. That I. But anyway, yes, they're better price performance.
Yeah.
Here's the models.
They are with flexible purchase option, including on-demand and savings plans.
Yeah,
and that's
there we go. Yeah. Oh, you're going to pricing in there. Yeah. You are correct. And spot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it goes. There we go. So yes, it continues.
Yes. Well, I think RDS also, there was an article from Doug Bill group, and they were saying that even the RDS RIs for new generation do not exist. They say after 5 months, it cannot be a mistake.
The RDS, but you can't buy savings plans for RDS.
No.
And we've been like, that's the question we're not allowed to ask anymore because they're so fed up of being asked it. When do RDS?
Yes. So it's either it's going to come in or it's just going to be.
You can't just leave them on demand. People go absolutely bonkers.
Well, it's been as far as the article was saying, it's been 5 months since that happened. So
Are we thinking the 8G, have they gone into some 8Gs? Let's research that and get back to people on that, because that's an interesting one. I've got 3 in a row, haven't I? Do you want to go see if you can see the pricing line?
Yeah, I'll try.
Okay, so I will stick to the same family actually that I've just mentioned, because I was going to jump somewhere else. But they're introducing 2 new Amazon EC2 i7-IE bare metal instance sizes. These instances are available in US East Virginia, Oregon, Frankfurt, London, so not Dublin. Oh, now available. Does that mean they were already there? Interesting. And Tokyo. It's the 5th generation Intel and up to 120 terabytes of local NVMe. But it's bare metal, so it makes sense it's bigger. Up to 65% better real-time storage performance, up to 50% better latency, and 65% lower storage variability latency compared to the i3EN instances, which is the last bare metal ones. Doesn't specifically talk about the price performance. There it is. Sorry, I'm absolutely wrong. Compared to it's just earlier in the article, i3ANs, they deliver 40% better compute performance and 20% better price performance. So, that's quite significant, but still means there's going to be an increase in cost. And the new sizes are the 24XL and the 48XL with 96 or 192 vCPU, and deliver up to 100 gigabytes of network bandwidth, 60 gigabytes of bandwidth for EBS. Okay, I will continue. And now I'm introducing Amazon EC2 C8GD, M8GD, and R8GD instances. These are the SSD block up to 11.4 terabyte of local NVMe based SSD block level storage. They're powered by the Graviton 4s, as we know, delivering up to 30% better performance over Graviton 3 based instances, and 40% higher performance for IO intensive databases, and up to 20% faster query results for IO intensive real time data analytics than compared to the Graviton 3 instances. Now, this time I tried not to skip anything that talks about price partway through. I'm looking through. Bound to these 25%. It does not. This literally does not talk about pricing at all. So even the price performance. So that could just be an oversight. But next time Frank speaks, I will go and look at these compared to each other.
It's going to be soon. I'm slightly struggling here to find, but it seemed that now even there was an interesting bit. I was looking at no upfront RIs for RDS. Is this option is offered with a 1-year term and may be subject to AWS approval. Please contact customer service if you encounter issues buying no upfront RIs.
Wow, so that's on the new ones, is it? Or is that just in general?
That's in general, and now I'm trying to get to the new ones, and I got slightly confused in the price. Yeah, that's possibly me. So let's say that I want an what is the latest one? M8?
But announcement's got to be coming. They do some announcements of FinOps X, so could
but it's been quite a... As I say, the Duckbill group was saying that it was many months now.
Oh, was it? So what, Corey?
Yes.
Well, I mean, they normally know.
So M8G seems to have only a 1 year reserved, all upfront, partial no upfront. Can I have no upfront? So there might be something. If I pay this.
Well, thank you, Corey or Michael, whoever it was that wrote that.
Yes, thank you. It helps understand. No, it seems that Anyway, I think it deserves some rereading and checking. But there are quite a few movements around RIs in general in AWS at the moment. And you've done the DB AI stuff too?
No, that is next. I need to make the noise and do that. But this was very interesting, I thought. And those people who've never listened to us before, and if you were going to be bored by anything, that would have been these very words.
Yes.
Databases, DBs, and AI. Prompt optimization, Amazon Bedrock, now generally available. They launched this in 2024 in preview, I think, to accelerate prompt creation and engineering for foundational models, FMs. They announced its general availability and pricing. So these prompts must be customized for each FM according to its best practice and guidelines, which is a time-consuming process. You can now automatically rewrite prompts for better performance and more concise responses on Anthropic, Llama, Nova, DeepSeek, Mistral, and Titan models. You can compare optimized prompts against original versions without deployment and save them in the prompt management portal for prompt lifecycle management. You can also prompt optimization in Bedrock Playground or directly via the API. The optimization is generally available in a good chunk of regions, including Ireland this time. And the pricing, I will just see if we can see the information easily on it. Prompt management optimization. I've gone to the pricing models and it is not obvious. I will see if I can dig that out later. I'll make the noise because it's you again.
So it's storage, and the first one is from Azure, and the disk performance troubleshooting capability for Copilot in Azure is now available in general availability as part of the Copilot Azure. So it was, there we go. So the disk performance troubleshooting capability, you can use, okay. So let me try to read the right paragraph. Azure offers a rich variety of disk metrics, providing insight into the performance of your VMs and disks. These metrics help you diagnose performance issue when your application requires higher performance and what you have configured. And this Azure Copilot further enhance your experience by analyzing these metrics to resolve performance issues in your behalf, along with provided guided recommendation for optimizing VMs and disk performance to improve your application experience. So overall they've introduced Copilot in Azure, and it will read your disk data and make some, I don't know if decisions, or it will definitely recommendations at least, which is quite cool. So we are starting to see AI, but it's specialized AI. In this case, you have a module. It's like a group of experts. I think that's the name it's called into AI naming. It's you have that group of experts. So you ask a question, and it will be directed to a group of experts. In this case, the expert is a disk expert. But that's cool. Next is it's yours. You have two.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, because yours is the one above it, the updates. Okay, fine. Well, I'll just go back and I found the pricing. It is 3 cents per 1,000 tokens for the prompt optimization for Amazon Bedrock. I just had to scroll some more until I found it. So, which one is this? AWS. Announcing AWS DMS serverless automatic storage scaling. So the AWS Database Migration Service serverless now offers storage scaling. This enhancement you never have to worry about exceeding the DMS serverless 100 gigabyte default replication storage capacity when processing very large transaction volumes or using detailed logging. You can now use the AWS service for replicating the highest of transaction volumes. Since there is no longer any storage capacity limits, AWS serverless will automatically increase the storage for your replications anytime the capacity reaches its limits. Pros and cons to that. Obviously, that can mean it can charge you for whatever it's needed, but obviously it's now giving you a service that wasn't available. You're able to do more. There's more documentation around that, but the pricing is pretty standard. Me again, I believe.
Well, yes, and I have also, just to say on the dog bill thing, there are two articles. One is from, it's called EC2 reserved instances are being quietly deprecated. That was from Corey. And there is another one, which is more recent, since 1st of May, with RDS reserved instances. Where did all the new instances type go? Which is by Eric Pullen. And AWS is excluding new RDS instance type from reserved instance purchase. Is this an overnight or a quiet continuation of the RI deprecation strategy? I think they are worth reading. And
they are good, the guys over there. They are good.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Okay, Amazon S3 Express One Zone reduces storage and request prices starting today, so it's April the 10th. Amazon S3 Express One Zone has reduced pricing for storage by 31%, put requests by 55%, get requests by 85%. In addition, S3 Express One Zone has reduced its per gigabyte data upload and retrieval charges by 60% and now applies these charges to all bytes rather than just portions of requests exceeding 512 kilobytes. So it's a big discount, but you have to pay for all of the bytes now. I think that's quite interesting. I think that's possibly pushing people to start using less zones. A lot of people are just like using high redundancy for things that don't need it because it's just simpler, and it will push more people to this. And also because they've got the automatic tiering, I wonder whether single zone wasn't getting used enough.
I don't know. I don't know if you would put one zone, you might break some company standards off. You need to have
it can only be for some things, right? So you'd have to select what it could be, but I've got a bunch of stuff that could be there. It's certainly, if I'm using it as a backup, it would be enough to have it there as well.
Backup, dev test, to all this kind of stuff, you can probably be in one zone. If it goes down for some time, it's fine.
Exactly.
Or data you can regenerate.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a lot cheaper. Right, that is those ones. So noise, and back to you.
And we're on visibility, Billy Conductor, tag, cost categories, and it's a news from Google. And I was going there, quite a few things there. So it was on the 29th of April. They've said, so let me go directly to the announcement. Find and eliminate waste using FinOps Hub 2.0 with Gemini Cloud Assist. So it's a preview. But there is a new, so FinOps Hub 2.0, they have a new dashboard, which is utilization insights designed to help you quickly identify and reduce cloud waste and get more value from Google Cloud. You can also do the following with the FinOps Hub dashboard. You can assess estimated costs for underutilized resource, idle, over provision, under provision, and suboptimal configuration. You can use a visual waste map, which I need to look at, to find the top waste driver by project or waste category. You can also leverage data-driven recommendation to optimize key services like Computer Engine, Kubernetes Engine, Cloud SQL, or Cloud Run, and App Hub applications. So you can also use Gemini Cloud Assist in the FinOps Hub to save time and simplify collaboration. So if you have enabled Gemini Cloud Assist in billing, it will generate summary of top wasted usage insight, draft email reports for utilization insight, and lots of other interesting things. So I recommend having a look at this. So FinOps Hub 2.0 and its new reporting system. There is also on the news, and I don't know if I've put it just below that. Let me check. So that was the first. Then there is also Google App Hub application are now integrated with billing reports and the FinOps Hub to let you analyze cost by application, which is quite cool. So I don't know exactly what App Hub applications are or how much you need to construct them to define exactly what your application is made of. But if this really helps integrate, allow you cost analysis for specific applications, so you can really start having engineers or the FinOps team to work and focus on one application at a time, that'd be huge. So in cost report, you can configure your report to group by application or filter by application. In the cost table report, you can filter by application. In the cost breakdown, also filter on application. And the FinOps Hub utilization insight, which we've just talked about, you can view insight by App Hub application to see the estimate cost of potentially wasted usage and file recommendation for that application. And I found this quite interesting. So lots of cool new stuff coming out of Google on this one. And then there is another one, which is GKE. That was another day. Now provide insights and recommendations that help you identify workload without resources requests or limits that you can, so that you can specify the resource need for those workload. Configuring CPU and memory requests and limit for container is the best practice for improving reliability, performance, and is a necessary prerequisite for understanding and optimizing resource utilization by your workload and their cost. which is why I jumped on it, because there was the word cost at the end.
Yeah, no, it makes sense, doesn't it? Also, I've done that bit of digging while you were talking. The price increase from on the 7 GDs to 8 GDs, I've just tested to see a large for both, is around 9%. So it should still be more price performance. Yeah, but it was like a 20% price performance. Performance increase.
Yeah.
So it should still be more price performance.
So as usual, if you're using them really fully, it's really cool. So if you're using the cloud, so it should be that you are loading the amount of machines you need at the right time and packing them as requests all in one go, spiking and then going down. Well done. That's going to be a really good deal.
Yeah, but if you're not using
if you're just keeping them up with 5% usage, it's not going to fly well.
Yeah, don't look at this. Okay, sweet. Noise.
Commitments. So the first one is Azure generally available AKS cost recommendation in Azure Advisor. So to help you optimize your AKS cluster, Azure Advisor now for AKS cost recommendation. These advisors are designed to identify cost-saving opportunities and provide actionable insight to enforce AKS cost best practices. The recommendations are tailored to your cluster configuration and target right-sizing, auto-scaling, visibility, and SKU selection scenarios. I highlight the SKU because I like SKUs.
You do love a SKU.
I'm a SKU guy. Anyway, next one, still mine, and this one I've copy-pasted. So it's Google, improve consistency in resource-based commitment, use discounts, so CODs, string names across experiences. So the idea is we have improved consistency by standardizing core string names across the various experience. This update helps provide a seamless experience in resource-based COD purchase, flow, recommendation analysis, and the FinOps hub. That should have potentially been into visibility, but hey, if you're listening up to this point, you're good.
It's about COD, though, isn't it? So
there is also a new committed use discount for customer using backup and DR service to protect Oracle database into a backup vault. This is a way to lower backup cost in consideration of a 1 to 3 year commitment. You can purchase COD on the Google Cloud Marketplace via the standard process. So it's quite interesting and specific to Oracle, and tendenциally Oracle backup will last at least for 1 to 3 years. So that totally makes sense in my head. Yeah. Next is backup and DR services now support backup and restore for DB2 databases. Uses persistent disk snapshot. This is typically faster and simpler than previous method, and in some cases also reduce costs. And so that's that. And then it's you.
It is announcing serverless reservations, a new discounted pricing option for Amazon Redshift serverless. Now offers service reservations for Redshift, a new discounted pricing option that helps you save up to 24% and gain greater cost predictability with your analytics workloads. You can commit to a specific number of Redshift processing units, RPUs, for a 1-year term and choose between 2 payment options, all upfront that provides 20% and all upfront that provides 24% discount. There is more to say, but it doesn't really say a lot, if that makes sense. So that's pretty cool if you are using that. And then the other one I have is Cost Optimization Hub supports DynamoD and MemoryDB reservation recommendations. So the Cost Optimization Hub now supports those. You can filter and aggregate recommendations across both services, making it easier to identify the highest cost-saving opportunities for DynamoDB and MemoryDB. With this launch, you can view, consolidate, and prioritize reservation recommendations across your organization's member accounts and AWS regions in a single dashboard. That's pretty much covers that. We haven't got anything under pricing, although we've talked a lot about pricing. So that puts us on to savings. The first one I have, I'm going to say it is one. AWS Code Build adds support for specifying EC2 instance type and configurable storage sizes. So now supports instance by name when using reserved capacity fleets. This enhancement allows you to configure the amount of storage attached to each instance and is a fully managed continuous integration service that compiles the source code, runs the tests, and produces ready-to-deploy software packages. So it allows you to choose the most suitable in your eyes for the the workload, customize your build environment to match specific resource needs. This allows you to optimize cost and feedback cycle. I mean, it depends whether you're better at choosing, I suppose.
Well, I use it. For example, if you go to the AWS.frankcontrepoint.com, it's all made from code build, because the reality is it runs a bash script in my case. And it works really well. But part of this is I had to use a bigger instance than needed. Also due to storage. Okay, also memory, so that's fine. It's not a problem. But it's a nice little tool. Works really well. And yes, if you are like me, managing tons of data, more data than memory requirements, that can be useful. Yep.
Okay, the last one I have is AWS Compute Optimizer now supports 57 new Amazon EC2 instance types. The newly supported instances are the latest generation of accelerated instances, the P5E, the P5EN, the G6E, storage optimized instances, so the i7IE, the i8G, and the compute optimized instances, the M8G, as well as the high memory U7I, and the new instances for Flex, which is C7i Flex and the M7i Flex. With these newly supported instance types, AWS Compute Optimizer delivers recommendations to help you identify cost and performance optimization opportunities. We all know that bit as well. But yeah, now they've added quite a lot at once. And I always forget that they're not there straight away or very soon.
Yeah, but
most of these are relatively recent. But obviously they've just done it.
Well, the i7E that you've just said, I think, was on the list, and we've just
i7. I was in, and the IE was in as well, because that's the bare metal instance.
Yeah, but so well done, Rick. I think it's your team doing that, so well done you.
Yeah, exactly. Right, noises.
So that's an interesting one. This is this is FinOps. We're talking about FinOps. And in particular, we are talking about Microsoft cost management. Let me get my tabs in the right way. So there is now generally available enhanced exports. So the idea is that in cost management, you have an export functionality, but there are key enhancements to that functionality. So they have additional data sets. You can now export price sheet, reservation recommendation, reservation detail, reservation transactions, along with standard cost and usage data, actual and amortized. So that's the first change. The second one is support for focus, which we love. And so you have focus. Efficient file handling is number 3. You can export data in either comma-separated value or Parquet format with compression. I can tell you Parquet is really powerful for this kind of stuff. Then to secure, the other change also is enterprise-grade security and compliance. To secure your data, you can seamlessly export to storage account behind firewalls. So it doesn't have to be, I guess, where it can be potentially directly into your environment. Is that what I guess? In hybrid format, which is quite cool. And streamlined export creation experience. So we have streamlined the creation experience, enable you to configure multiple export for different data set in a single workflow. There is also a new version of the API for you to programmatically manage your exports. There is a full also then video that has been created through that. So that's quite cool. That was number 1. The other thing was that there is now a new videos and learning opportunities still from Microsoft. And so you have AKS cost recommendation in Azure Advisor, autoscale for vCore-based Azure Cosmos DB for MongoDB. Are they the same ones? No, they're not the same ones. That's interesting. Then there is troubleshoot this performance. That's but those are no. Variable hibernation for GPU VMs, for example, is still there. And the one that are on my list, there was really Microsoft cost management, overview in the Azure portal, cost analysis in Azure portal, part 1, part 2, creating budgets and alerts, and exporting your cost data. So there are tons of new videos and opportunities to learn in the FinOps part of Azure. So that's quite cool. Then, so I said already, there is a new API, and that is cool. And then generally available is Microsoft Copilot in Azure. So, and they've created, if you're in cost management, the interesting bit is they've created something they call nudges, which are tailored prompt added to your overview page to encourage you to interact with Copilot. So they want you to use Copilot, but the idea is that they provide you with pre-ready prompt that will bring, hopefully, value to you and that be customized just for you. So if you read the example they gave you, if you really want to check the cost of your subscription with higher cost, you can ask Copilot in natural language, can you provide me with a breakdown of my top 5 subscription with the highest cost for this month? And you will get an answer in table format. What I found very interesting also is how polite we are asking Copilot, it seems. And that's it for that bit. Music Maestro.
There's a lot in there, wasn't there?
We have 2 miscellaneous silly. The first one, it's not, I just didn't know where to put it. So Azure Static Web Apps, dedicated pricing. And by the way, I had a typo. It was written desiccated pricing. I don't know what's that. But Azure Static Web App, dedicated pricing will go away. So that's a pricing that disappears. You can go into the learn.microsoft.com/azure/static-web/apps/plans, and you will see they will explain to you that from October there is this one, the one that disappears. The second things, which I remember being announced at an event, which was fun, it's in preview because it's hard. Cloud Billing supports dark theme in Google Cloud Console now. So yeah. And that's it, really. I think that's all for the month. Quite a few things.
It was quite, I was going to say, it was quite a few things. You definitely went into more, like, there are quite commonly more videos. I don't really know, but it's a good point. I kind of you get blind to things if you do it all the time. Like,
it's also me doing it for one of the first times, so I might be more thorough than I would be on the 10th really good time.
And that's what we're here to be, is thorough as well, right? So, thank you very much for that, Frank. Thank you everyone for listening. I guess only bits of news. We're not long away at all from FinOps X. We will both be there. Oh yeah, you got your FinOps t-shirt on.
Yes.
Is that from the first X? That one?
It might be. Yes, I don't remember.
Because then there was the long sleeve t-shirt, and then there's the short sleeve. Oh, hang on, there's Barcelona. I don't know. I lose track. Like I said, JR, Steve, if you're listening, Seb is very much hoping the Foxes will be green this year.
I think they got their Foxes already.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, I've it's been mentioned a few times. But any colour fox will be very excited. If you'd like to come and record a podcast with me and Frank, we'll have to do it outside of like event hours and stuff. We don't want to ever take on away from the great talks that are happening. But we are going to be there. We're going to be. Are you there on a Monday as well?
Yes,
are you arriving on Sunday?
I'm arriving on Sunday.
We're both arriving Sunday, so if anyone wants to record Sunday, Monday, we definitely can. And then I head back on Friday afternoon. How about you?
I go back on Thursday afternoon earlier, and I'm gonna help also on Monday afternoon. I think I'm on a Chalk Talk helping there. Yeah. So
nice.
I'm gonna try to.
So is it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or is it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? This year? Good thing I had checked this once, but I've now forgotten. Let's have a look at the agenda.
You are asking me complicated questions. So the official thing is there's June the 2nd to the 5th. So see the agenda. Let's make sure we say the right stuff in there. Where is my agenda?
Right, yes, there's a chalk.
It starts on Monday and really ends on Thursday.
But when are the keynotes?
So
I think they've just got some chalk talks on day one. Because day one keynote is on Tuesday.
Yeah,
that's what I thought. So there's a bunch of chalk talks in day one because I think they've had so much demand for chalk talk. Exactly. Fantastic. But I hadn't realised that because I thought keynote was on the Tuesday. So we don't want to take people away from that at all. So we'd have to do anything in the
correct. But sponsor. So there are some really cool things. Tuesday it starts. Monday starts, and the keynote is on the 3rd on Tuesday. Yep. Wednesday you have day 2 keynote. Thursday is just saying hello at breakfast.
Yes.
So it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but keynotes on the Tuesday, which is what I thought, which is why I've got myself confused. You've seen the layout. It's going to feel very different this year. It's bigger, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's way bigger. There are also many more people there. It's good. It's the community is growing, which is really cool. And I've just finalized the data center kind of document, which was quite interesting to see how you can and where you can expand, where FinOps can be useful. And where, as we believe, you and I, where can we take something from the data center and bring it to FinOps potentially? Because I think there are lots of good things there.
And when are people who are used to the cloud going to realize that CapEx isn't evil?
Well, that was my big my big thing. I put so many comments on the CapEx, and I'm not an accountant, so I can put them. Usually, I put those comments, then I say I'm not an accountant, and so you remove all the comments. I'm reasonably sure they're correct most of the time, but not 100%. But yeah, anyway, I'm passionate about the topic.
Well, and as you should be, someone needs to fight for CapEx. But yeah, I mean, there's a time and place for all things. But thank you so much, Frank. Thank you so much, listeners. We look forward to hopefully seeing you in San Diego. I know a few people can't make it this year. We'll hopefully see you at some of the events. And thank you for listening, and there'll be hopefully some more interview episodes soon.
Okay.
Thank you, and goodbye.
Bye-bye.